Embarking on a career in art is a journey infused with creativity, expression, and the pursuit of a passion. Art as a career extends beyond the strokes of a brush or the sculpting of forms, or even singing soul-soothing tunes. It has to do with cultivating a personal brand, establishing a unique identity, and engaging with a diverse audience. Artists often find themselves at the intersection of self-discovery and an entrepreneurial journey. Today, we will be discussing art as a career. Welcome to a new episode of Youth Talks. As usual, we have guests from the subject that can talk to us about today's episode. We have art, so of course we have artists with us. Firstly, I'm gonna start with Ishtar. She is a brilliant musician and singer. Good morning, Ishtar.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
How are you?
Welcome on the show.
Thank you very much.
We also have Nishwa with us. She is an illustrator. She does calligraphy and a lot of different things. So she is really the full package. Good morning, Nishwa.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
Thank
you for having me.
Of course, my pleasure. So ladies, today we're going to be talking art, but we're going to be talking art as a career. Now, both of you are artists, but you manage somehow to work in the field and make a living out of it, which is mainly today's topic. So I'm going to start with something simple. Firstly, talk to us about yourself, about your art.
My name is Ishtar. I'm 23 years old. I'm a singer and songwriter, though I still didn't share my original songs. I'm working on them. I'm teaching music too. I'm giving private lessons. Yeah, and that's all.
That's great. We're gonna ask you more questions and get to know you more and your music later. Nashwa?
I'm Nashwa. I have been an illustrator for 16 years now. I specialized in children books publishing. I also do digital paintings and comic book illustration. And I work as well as graphic designer in the digital communication field.
That's amazing. So really the full package. Now back to you, Ishtar. Of course, an artist has to start somewhere. Where did you begin? Where did your journey with music begin? And how did it evolve to the artist that you are today?
Since I was a kid, I was always interested to sing. I get excited when I listen to songs, when I see instruments. So it's been my passion since I was literally a kid. And by the time I started learning instruments, I bought my first guitar when I was 17. And I literally started watching tutorials on YouTube and learning simple chords. Yeah, self-taught. And by the time I started sharing on my private accounts, I had a private account. And people were so supportive. They were like, why don't you go public? Why don't you share more? And yeah, here we are.
That's great. That's an amazing story. Nashwa, how did you start your journey with art? Especially that you do so many different types. You do illustrations, you do graphic design, so many skills that you have to acquire.
I always felt a calling towards graphic arts since I was a child. I also took courses and participated in workshops as a teen. So when I finished high school, my father encouraged me to study arts. I have so many family members who ended up taking cultural or artistic related careers after doing more serious studies. So my father encouraged me to begin with what I want to do the most. So I studied design at École supérieure des beaux-arts d'Alger.
That's amazing. So you really had the full academic career in arts, then you went and worked in it.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, so that's great. That's a really good question that I've been wanting to ask artists. How was the reaction they got from their families when they said, I want to pursue studies in art or even a career in arts?
Yeah.
What about you, Ishtar?
Yeah, as any Algerian family, they would kind of, think that the artistic field is kind of, so it was not surprising for them. at first, but they were supportive by time, you know.
It took some convincing, I'm sure.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so of course any artist, when they start to establish themselves as a serious artist, it's your livelihood, that's how you make money, that's how you survive. Of course you face many challenges along the way. Can you tell us about these challenges and how did you overcome them?
I personally, it's only now, with over 16 years of practice, that I can say that I have enough correctly paid project to live from my art. That's why I took jobs as a graphic designer or even communication manager in the communication field with the communication agencies. Fortunately, my family was supportive, whether it was financially or to help me not get discouraged at the beginnings.
Especially when you're not making progress and when you're not finding the right jobs that pay you the right amount of money for your efforts. What about you, Ishtar? How was your intersection between art and a career?
I don't know.
How did you start finding the right jobs? I don't know. Maybe how did you start getting jobs in your field?
I believe it's all about marketing. I started posting on social media spontaneously. I didn't know that it's gonna bring me a lot of opportunities back then, and yeah, it just came spontaneously.
Now, as Nashwa said, she said that she took jobs as a graphic designer, which is not very artistic when you compare it to digital painting or illustration. So it's more of a job that she had to be realistic and use her artistic skills
for
to
business.
Make money. So I think you're doing now the same thing.
I'm working with my art to bring money, of course, as a teacher. I wasn't interested to be a teacher at first. It was hard. I just love singing and writing songs, and I was shocked, to understand that it's hard to make money with this, especially that it's a new culture in Algeria. I mean, now we have a lot of restaurants that they have artists, they sing there and stuff, but back then it wasn't that hard. It wasn't that easy, so it's great. It's great to work with your art. You're not gonna feel bored, at least. I'm trying to focus on the bright side,
Right, yeah, I totally understand, and I think any artist can relate to this, because me, myself, I am an artist, but unfortunately I can't work with my job. I'm doing something else, but I still keep it as a hobby, which is not the same for you guys, since you work with your art. How do you manage to not lose passion for art while working? Literally, it's your job. It can get tricky. You can confuse it as the love of art as, oh, it's a job, I don't want to do it, I'm tired, I don't have the passion anymore. How can you manage to still love what you're doing?
Honestly, I don't have to manage what I do. My work, my artistic work, is what I love to do the most. So it doesn't feel like working for me. I can do hours and hours of drawings, songs, without feeling it as working. And if I hadn't my family to take care of, I would lose myself in drawing day and night.
Right, so you have your family to keep you on check,
yes,
thankfully. So, ladies, I'm going to ask you another question. Now, a lot of artists tend to say that they can be self-taught, or others say that going to an art school is what makes you an artist. What is your opinion on that? Now, Nashwa, you did the whole Beaux-Arts school and stuff, so you're very academic, you're very classical.
I did too.
Yeah, you did too, right. So both of you took that route. Would you say that made you an artist, or just developed a couple skills that you needed?
Theoretically, yes, but it's gonna put you in a box that limits you, and you're gonna lose creativity by time, because you're gonna focus on many details, theory details. Professional musicians gonna hear this and they're not gonna like it, and by time I started to stop doing this, because I just believe that I sing to people and to make them feel, and that's that's the point. That's my point.
Right. So you think that it can put you in a box, it can limit your creativity, which is true. I mean, because you have so many rules to respect, you have so many, when you're studying it as an academic field, I mean, you have to pass exams, you have to do homework.
Under
It's
pressure.
really, it adds a pressure on you. So Nashwa, what's your opinion on that?
I'm not really okay with that. Maybe it's because I'm a bit older. No, more
you're still
older.
young, you're still young.
I think personally, my studies at the School of Fine Arts helped me and was very formative culturally and technically. But it's really only a foundation upon which to build, to find your own techniques and your own methods and inspirations and influences. Academic studies are here to put you on a track, and you have to find your own methods after.
To develop, right?
Yes, to develop.
They're gonna direct you, but you gotta develop yourself on your own.
You have to do the work,
Exactly.
eventually, yes. So now Ishtar talked about something really interesting. She said that being on social media helped her get more opportunities. So would you say that networking and being very involved in the art scene where you live can help you develop your career more?
Yeah, a lot. Especially the network you make through social media or through scenes or through events.
Right.
I started doing that only last year, and I can see a lot of feedback.
Right. It brought you so many opportunities.
So many opportunities, yeah.
Right. What about you, Nashwa?
I think that art, the work of an artist, isn't limited to the creative stage. You need to ensure that your work is seen and shared.
Right.
So engaging in networking is essential. You have to show your work to other professionals so you can exchange tips and opportunities, and they can provide you critiques to evolve.
Right. So when it comes from an artist, I think it's better. I mean, they know how the process is, so the feedback can be more helpful.
Exactly, and
right.
you have to follow other fellow artists' work to stay tuned with
what's trendy, what's going
with the trends,
on,
with the
right.
methods, especially in applied arts, like
you do,
like
right.
I do. Yes.
Right. Yeah, I totally get that. It's a very good point. So now I think we've covered marketing, the marketing side of this business. Now, when you were a fresh artist, now starting to build a career in arts, of course, you're lost on the details. You don't know how to price your work. You don't know how you can handle the business side of it. What would you give as an artist, maybe advice to ones who are now starting and they have no clue how to get the right value for their work?
Well, I was well coached by my husband, who specialized in marketing and business. So marketing is easy now, as Ishtar said, with the social medias. Right. And I invite your viewers to follow us
yes, of course,
on Instagram.
Please share your pages, right?
Yes, mine is at Nashwa, simply, on Instagram. As for sales, it have been very difficult for me. It's not my nature. It's not in my nature.
Right.
So I was coached, and now it's still hard, but I can manage to ensure that my contracts are respected and ensure timely payment.
Right.
It's not easy.
So
Still not easy.
You had the chance of having a husband who is well informed on this. For those of us who don't, I think we can give them the advice of looking for someone who has been in the business, who knows, who has purchased these kinds of services from artists, so he knows they know how to price it right. So now getting to know more people in the field always gets back to this. So it's very important to build a network around the business
and to find a manager.
A manager, right. That's not a very popular concept in Algeria.
Even if it's not officially,
Right.
find someone to help you,
Coach you. Right.
to help you toughen up and help you understand the ropes of business.
Right, and that's what Ishtar was telling me behind the scenes. She was talking about having to be tougher when you're dealing with a lot of different people. Now, when you're an artist, of course, you meet all sorts of people. When you're selling your work as Ishtar, you do performances. So I think you meet a lot of people who organize events, who maybe have restaurants. So how do you manage the business side of things?
I know a lot of people in the field. We mentioned networking is
Yes,
the most
very
important thing.
right.
Yeah. So I just used to ask them randomly or work with them, collaborate with them. So I used to see and try to not copy, let's not say copy, but you know. And then with time, with developing my art, with singing, trying to touch many styles in music, I started to give prizes based on the time I'm singing, based on the style he's looking for, based on the place, because a restaurant is not like a hotel, you know.
Right.
So yeah, and I always let them propose first so I can, you know.
That's a very good tip.
Yeah.
So you heard it here, first artists, you need to let them make the offer, and then you can maybe add on it or negotiate.
I exposed myself.
Right. So ladies, now this show is built on the opinion of the youth. So we always go and ask them their opinions on the topic. So today we're gonna be asking them about art as a career. Let's go listen to what they have to say and come back.
Unfortunately, I don't think so, because we're kind of a society that consumes a lot of things, and art is very contemporary, so not a lot of people could benefit from art. At least our society look also down on it, so it's not really beneficial as a career. You're not have like a lot of income from it, so to choose as a career path, I don't think it's beneficial for that matter.
Of course, I already do. I do murals. You chilling in the comfort of your house, you know. You get a call, hey, I have a gym. I need to decorate it. I need a mural. Come help me up. You go there, you do the murals. Sometimes it's something about the topic that you know, for example, at the gym, you draw a bodybuilder or a sport or some type, or a ball or anything, you know. For example, when I go to elementary school, they like cartoons. They like something that's related to the topics that the teacher teach, you know. That's what and you get money from it, and you're happy doing what you want to do, and you get money for it. So I like that. It's possible.
Well, yes, but it's quite complicated because art is not very very acknowledged in Algeria. Not very accepted from society views. For example, an artist would not be as accepted as a teacher or a doctor.
I mean, to be honest, I think that if we would like, for example, to profit out of art, it's to make it out of pleasure. Don't make it as a career path. Just do it because you like it. Don't do it because you want money from it. Because not a lot of people are interested, not a lot of people look upon art, so I think that doing it for pleasure would actually help, you know, benefiting from it.
If they communicate it well, and they communicate the right idea of it, and they reach the people of that place with that idea, I think, yeah, they can financially get stable by it. But it's quite difficult.
There's a lot of ways, you know. For example, I have a friend who do digital art. He work for example, publicity agencies. He work as for the covers, you know. He draw a cover and he decorate it and everything, and he design it and he get paid for it. For example, for me, the murals, I get paid from it. For example, I have a friend who got interested in music, and music guided him to the sound engineering, you know, and now he has a studio and he do a lot of work and he gain a lot of money. So it is possible to get money through the art, you know.
I have friends that, you know, draw and they consider themselves artists and they write, but they are aware of this in our society that being artist, actively an artist, besides from pleasure, it's not gonna make you money or anything. So their families, I believe that every family, Algerian family, also traditional Algerian families, look at art as a, you know, a hobby, not as something that you could make money out of.
Well, I have a traditional family, you know. They didn't care. The kid drawing, who care? As long as his studies going well, we do not care. But by the time they have a lot of ideas trained, you know, when they see the success, for example, the people come to them and they say, yo, your kid doing that and that. That's amazing. And my parents, my kid doing that, you know. So they changed their ideas and now they're supporting me. The opposite of what they did when I was a child, you know.
My two older sisters have their own small business. They do crochet. I view them as artists because they can make art from yarn, and it's beautiful. Yeah, very supportive and very impressed because they can make magic with their hands. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Support. An artist needs to support another artist, and they need creativity through the challenges and the competition. That's what makes an artist thrive.
I really think that maybe culture, maybe linking culture with art, because that's mainly what, let's say, Algerians like, to make an Algerian look at art. It's really to make it about us, about our culture. So I believe that they could actually, you know, look at culture more and focus on it. That maybe could help.
Well, I think using social media now. I think it is the best way to make your art reach the most amount of people, the biggest amount of people by social media.
So we're back and we have listened to you talk. Many of you said that you were interested in becoming artists. Algerian families, surprisingly, are very supportive nowadays of their kids pursuing a career in art. So we are here today to guide you and take from the experience and the wisdom of the artists present here with us today. So I think now the question that it comes up a lot when you're talking to a fellow artist is, how do you find the opportunities, for example, for artists who do paintings, who maybe want to do an exposition, maybe want to exhibit their work, they want to collaborate with other artists. How do you do that? How do you manage to find the right people for the right opportunities?
You need to engage in networking. There's no secret. And you need to sell yourself. Your work,
sell yourself. I like that.
Yes, you have to sell yourself. Nobody will do it for you. It's your job. It's a part of the job. You need to communicate about it. You need to show your work to other professionals, to people on the communication field. To have as many opportunities possible.
Right. So speaking of showing your work, I think it's time to show your work, to show the books that you've worked on. So this book was illustrated by Nashwa. She does children books mostly, and even storyboards. You can show us the rest of the books. So it's very pretty, very interesting. You do these from scratch. So all the characters are yours, the backgrounds are yours. You do everything.
Yes. Even if my method evolves with time,
right.
I always try to get to new courses and to learn about new techniques. But my steps are still the same. I start with when I work with a book, with a text. I start with identifying the more inspiring passages. Then begin a character research, then sketch, apply choosing
with a normal
palette,
pencil and
with a
digital
pen and at first it's a pen.
Pen, right.
Then I digitize it.
Digitalize it, right.
Digitalize it and apply a palette on software.
Right.
I do it on my laptop. So then I show my work to show the drawings to the publisher and or the writer to make them review it. And when they are okay with it, I work on the textures and the shadows and add the little details that make, the magic, yes.
Right, so that's the process, that's how you do the jobs. Maybe a couple of digital artists are watching us today. What would you say helped you get into this field? Maybe they want to know what's the first step to take. Maybe send out the work to some publishing houses.
Learn to draw.
Learn to
That's
draw.
the first step, and always try to always improve your technique. And make a book of drawings, and send it. Try to send it to publishers. There's Salon du Livre.
Right.
The book fair of Algiers.
Yeah.
There's also the FIBDA, le Festival de la bande dessinée, and the Festival de la littérature jeunesse. Take your book and go to publishers and show them your work, your Instagram, and try to. They're always looking for talents.
Right, and maybe have a portfolio ready that you can share with publishers.
Yes, when I say book, I mean portfolio.
Portfolio,
yes.
Right. So it could be easier to show off your work. Thank you. That's some very good advice, actually. Now, Ishtar, as a musician, what would you say can help Algerian musicians to thrive? Maybe what we need to do to make life easier for them.
Show your work. Invest in yourself, in your music. Try many styles, and try especially to touch what audience want to listen to, not what you actually want to play or what theoretically genius
works. Right.
So yeah.
That's very good advice. Thank you, ladies. I really love it. So at the end, of course, we have to give some heartfelt advice to those of these young artists that are watching us today. Of course, it's always good when you take the advice from someone you look up to, from someone who achieved what you're working towards. So now, Neshwa, you can give advice to artists who specialize in your field, who want to do what you're doing today, who want to have books published like you do.
Always try to improve your technique, and don't give up.
Don't give up. That's great advice. Ishtar?
I'm gonna think about this.
Maybe something for a musician who now has bought their first guitar. They're starting to learn. They're starting to share.
Practice. It's all about practice.
Right.
It's all about focusing on your passion. It's all about going out of the box and not focusing a lot about, those details.
Right.
Yeah.
That's some great advice. Thank you so much, ladies. It's been a pleasure having you here to us today. I think we covered most of the questions that we got from these young students. So we have come to the end of today's episode. Today's subject was art as a career. See you in the next one.